Today we are going to learn how to create value, and typically creating value you go from light to dark using a pencil, maybe a colored pencil, maybe even paint. Today we're going to learn how to do that using pen and ink. So we're using a Sharpie, the smallest Sharpie, the ultra fine point Sharpie, and we're going to be creating value using a few different techniques. So we're going to try 4 different techniques first. So you're going to need a goal at the top, which is create value using the repetition of lines. So using the Sharpie, write that at the top. And when you complete that, you're going to use the top portion of the page to draw 4 circles. So it's going to be similar to this sketchbook that you see here. I'm going to sketch them very lightly, so a little bit larger than a quarter. They don't have to be perfect circles. These are going to be erased. And I'm going to label each of these circles. So the first one is going to be labeled hatching, H-A-T-C-H-I-N-G. Second one is stippling. Contour lines is the third. And the last one is going to be your choice. So say you're doing an owl, it might be something like feathers. Maybe you're doing a puppy, a long-haired dog, it might be dog fur. So mine is a wolf, so wolf fur. So you kind of have to distinguish if your animal has short hair or longer hair, and that'll kind of give you the basis of the length of the lines that you're going to be making. So the first thing we're going to be doing is hatching. And hatching is just straight lines. And in order to create the illusion of a sphere, we are going to make it darker on one side and lighter on the other side. So the way to make this darker is just to create more lines. So I'm going to do some little, almost looks like fast rain falling down. Doing some little lines, and then it's going to gradually start to add more and more once you get to the top right corner. You can choose whichever side you want to be the dark side, the shaded side. I would recommend keeping it consistent through your 4 circles that you're doing here though. So you're just going to keep going with this Sharpie, and it's going to be the darkest, but again you're gradually fading from dark to medium, from medium to light. So it shouldn't be obvious where you have the most, it should just kind of gradually fade. Next is stippling. So stippling is just a lot of small dots. So you're not like stabbing the paper with your pen, you're actually creating little dots inside of that circle. Almost like you're in a planetarium. So there we have the first layer. Then I'm going to gradually add them to the top right corner. Try not to get sloppy. You want to keep these dots. You don't want them to look like they're moving or shooting stars. And then I'm going to kind of create the outline of that penciled circle that I originally drew. And you can get them real close together so this area is even black, as long as it gradually fades from dark to medium and from medium to light again. There's stippling. Next is contour lines. So contour lines, contour means it's just following this shape. So this is similar to the sun or the lines in like Vincent van Gogh's painting Starry Night. It looks similar to this, where the sun almost looks like a fireball, like a spiral. And again, darkening up the top right corner, and the edge is going to be the darkest part. I'm not going to spend too much time doing this. You get the idea. This will take you the whole class to do this page. And again, gradually fading from dark to medium, from medium to light. And then the last one is the fur or the texture that your animal has. So my wolf fur is pretty long-haired. If you don't know what animal you're doing yet, you can just choose like a dog hair, short hair, long hair, just like there's short hair cats, long hair cats, and then gradually but neatly fill it in so it creates a sphere and the illusion of a sphere with the darkest area in the top right and gradually fading to medium, medium to light. All right, that's just a quick rundown of what you're going to be doing for this. The second part of what you're doing is in the bottom half. So I like to label this light to dark. And you're going to be creating 4 different values of texture. So just as you see over here, so that's kind of your goal here. Create 4 values of texture. So you're going to choose the texture of your animal, and I'm just going to draw 2 horizontal lines. Sometimes these Sharpies seem like they're running out, but they're actually not running out. You're just using them on an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 different sections here, and then I'm titling it here. You have to make sure you're using these Sharpies kind of straight up and down. They don't work if you're using them like a pencil on the side. So I have my title here. I have the boxes for the 4 different values. So you guys are drawing 4 lines in between those 2 horizontal lines. And then the first one's just going to be the lightest. And what I like to do is do that same amount in each of these boxes. So whether you do 8 or 10 marks, you're going to repeat that in all of the boxes. And then maybe I'll add 8 to 10 more in each of these boxes. And that way you know that it's gradually transitioning from being the lightest to the medium dark to the darkest. So again, 8 to 10 in here. So now this is obviously the lightest, and then these 3 are kind of the same. Now we finished 1, I finished 2. I'm going to add about 8 to 10 more, maybe 15 more to this one, 15 more to this one. So those are on the same page. Trying to take up as much space as I can, not overlapping them. And then now these 2 are the same, so I'm going to stop adding them to number 3, and I'm going to add about 15 more to number 4 to make sure that it's obvious that that is the darkest. And remember, you're doing all of this neatly. You're not going to do it quick. Your goal is not to get it done. It's to gradually see how the values are changing. So you can definitely see a difference from light to medium dark to dark here. If you feel like you need to add more to any of them, you can go in and do that. But as long as you have that gradual change, that's all you need to do. And here's that image here, so you guys can look at that. And I can put this larger one up if you'd like to look at that. All right, enjoy, have fun. I will be grading this when I get back, so make sure you take your time and do a nice job.